So you had one pivot from content protection to content monetization. What's the next pivot?
Well, I think it's an evolution, and certainly I think the AI technology is going to be the trigger, is going to be bring us to the inflection point. As I mentioned before, AI, yes, a lot of people, worry about it. Would AI, replace human being for the content creation? As you know, this, the Hollywood has strike and there's dispute, and they just resolve, gladly, recently. In my view, in our view, as a technologist in Silicon Valley, I think there's no, ever in the history that technology is always going to bring forward, and no one can stop it. And I see these things as a empowering tool for creators instead of a replacement.
Right.
Just like the, Canva makes people creating graphics better, but it still, doesn't replace, and make the process more efficient and lower down the budget. Because right now, producing movie, TV shows is very expensive, especially the good ones. If you look at it, the movie box revenue, lifetime revenue over $1 billion in history, there's only 53 of them. So it's, in order to achieve that success, you got to throw in big budget. One of our board director, Dave Vogel, actually, he's the executive director, executive producer of Oppenheimer, the movie.
Oh, really? Amazing.
Yeah. So I got to learn, firsthand, for when he bought the script of that movie, the book, and then trying to make a movie. It's a painful process until he convinced Chris Nolan to do the movie. Luckily, it was a great success. It cost $100 million to produce the movie, another $100 million to distribute the movie, market and distribution. And yes, they're great. They reach over 900 million revenue. But that's a very exclusive to only a very few people in Hollywood. A powerful studio can do that.
Right.
But everybody got an idea. People have a story. Some of the things could be very interesting. Doesn't cost, take 3 hours to say it. Maybe 3 minutes, maybe 10 minutes could be an interesting story. And I see those AI tools allow people to tell their story, create a story in a very efficient, low-cost way, and then also distribute it to globally and in multiple languages. So I see this pivoting is for us right now as a company. We're helping, mostly the big studios and the content owners. We try to go out to help all creators, anyone, big and small ones, and allow them and help them to distribute the content globally and generate revenue. That revenue doesn't have to be $1 billion for the return because the investment is smaller, right, to individual. But if we can bring them to a few $100s, a few $1,000s, that could be very meaningful to that individual. And that I see a world of, much better and more inclusive world for content creation.
Let me just ask, what are the challenges for creators in the next decade in protecting their content, having the rights to it, and making sure that they're the ones monetizing it?
I think the key is, to digital content creators, always two things. One is to protect the content. They want to find more eyeballs. Today, finding more eyeballs is not an issue. If you want to release the content viral and for free, right? But the issue is that they want to have their labor, the cost, basically expenses covered and generate revenue so that can support their future product, content creation. So content protection is the core of that. And the other thing is monetization, how to collect the revenue. Is there any way, that I can go truly to content creator to content consumer directly, cut through all the middlemen and enable that transaction directly? We see that hope by having our infrastructure not only on the protection AI and tracking, but also with blockchain of this Web3 kind of transaction enabling technology. We see that world is coming sooner probably than most people expected.
Amazing. Okay, well, you've got a lot to do the next decade. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.